All right, let's get right into it. Over the next few minutes, we're going to take AI from this big, kind of confusing buzzword and turn it into a real, powerful tool for your business. This is your guide, specifically for small and medium businesses, on how to use automation not just to survive, but to really, truly thrive. So, let's go.
So, I want to start with a question for you, a direct one. What if your competition, right now, is operating at a level of efficiency that you just can't match? And it's not because they have more people, it's because they have smarter systems. This isn't some far-off future we're talking about. For a lot of companies, this is reality, today.
And here's the kicker, the cost of just waiting around. If you stick to the old manual ways, your operational costs could actually shoot up by 30, even 40% compared to your rivals who've already made the switch. This isn't just about missing out on an opportunity. It's about actively, financially falling behind.
So how do we get you ahead of the curve? Well, here's our game plan. We're going to talk about why now is the absolute tipping point. Then, what makes this new AI stuff so different? How to actually put it to work. We'll even tackle the ethical side of things, the ghost in the machine. Then we'll get practical, choosing the right tools for you, and finally, your step-by-step plan for the first 90 days.
First up, the automation tipping point. We're in this kind of perfect storm right now. The AI tools are accessible, the talent is out there, and the competitive pressure is intense. This isn't just another trend. It's becoming a flat-out necessity. In 2026, think of it less like another year and more like a deadline.
The whole business landscape is just shifting under our feet. Adopting AI isn't about being fancy or innovative anymore. Pretty soon, it's just going to be about staying in the game. It's the new baseline for being efficient and for growing your business.
Okay, so let's get into what this actually is in Section 2, Smarter Than a Rulebook. It is so important to get this. We are not talking about the clunky, rigid automation from, 10 years ago. This is a whole new ballgame.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. The old way was all about strict if this, then that rules. The second it saw something it didn't expect, poof, the whole thing would just break. But AI-powered automation, it's adaptive. It can handle messy, unstructured data. Think emails, contracts, PDFs. It actually learns as it goes, and it handles exceptions without grinding everything to a halt.
A perfect example of this is something called Intelligent Document Processing, or IDP. Imagine it's like a super scanner. It doesn't just read the words, it understands the context. It knows what an invoice number is or a contract date, and it can pull that key info out for you automatically.
So how do you actually put this stuff to work? Well, welcome to Section 3, your new digital teammates. I think the best way to think about this isn't as replacing people. It's about giving your team a crew of digital helpers who can handle all the boring, repetitive tasks, freeing up your human team to do what they do best: think, create, and solve problems. And the results? They're huge. We're talking about screening resumes 75% faster in HR, slashing customer service response times by up to 70%. In accounting, you can cut invoice processing time by a massive 80%. And in sales, how does a 25 to 35% boost in conversion rates sound? These aren't made-up numbers. This is real-world impact.
So what's happening behind the curtain? It's actually a pretty straightforward 5-step process. First, documents come in, email, scan, whatever. Second, the AI figures out what kind of document it is. Third, it pulls out all the important bits of data. Fourth, it checks that data to make sure it's accurate. And finally, boom, it pushes that clean, correct info right into your other systems. No more manual data entry.
And if you want to understand the scale of this, look at this quote. One bank saved over 15,000 human hours every single month. That didn't just make them a little more efficient, it totally transformed their capacity to do business.
Let's put this in dollars and cents. On average, it can cost up to $25 to manually process one invoice. With AI, it's about $1. Now multiply that difference by hundreds or maybe thousands of invoices a month. The savings are just staggering.
But listen, with all this power comes a whole lot of responsibility. And that brings us to Section 4, the ghost in the machine. We have to talk about the ethics here, because using AI the right way means using it responsibly. You can't just ignore this part.
Now, to get this right, we need a solid framework, and thankfully, we don't have to invent it from scratch. Academic research, like the work published in journals like this one, gives us a really clear guide for how to think about things like bias, fairness, and accountability.
It really all comes down to these 4 core principles. Transparency. Can you actually explain how the AI made a decision? Fairness. Is it treating everyone the same or is it baking in old biases? Privacy and security. Is your customer and company data safe? And finally, accountability. When something goes wrong, who's responsible?
So what's the most practical way to handle this? It's a concept called human in the loop. The idea isn't to take humans out of the equation. It's to let the AI do all the heavy lifting and then flag anything it's not sure about so a person can make the final call. This gives you the best of both worlds, speed and human oversight.
Okay, you get the why, you get the what, now let's talk about the how. Section 5, choosing your toolkit. And here's the really good news. Powerful AI tools are not just for giant corporations with huge budgets anymore. There are some fantastic, seriously budget-friendly platforms out there right now. You've got all-in-ones like the Zoho Suite, workflow tools from Microsoft's Power Platform. Heck, Google and HubSpot have AI built right in. And then you have the connectors, these amazing no-code platforms like Zapier and Make that can tie all your different apps together.
When you're picking a tool, you really have to think about your team. A tool like Zapier, for instance, is made for non-technical folks. Your marketing person can jump in and build automations. Something like Make, on the other hand, is a bit more powerful, but it definitely helps to be a little more technical. The key is finding the tool that actually fits the people you have.
And that brings us to the final, most important part, your first 90 days. We're going to take all this information and boil it down to a clear, manageable plan so you can get started without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Think of it as a simple 3-month journey. Month 1 is all about planning. Look at your business and find one painful, repetitive task. That's your pilot project. Month 2, you actually implement. Start small, get the tool set up, and test it out with your team. Then, in month 3, you scale it up. You deploy it fully, you measure your return on investment, and you start planning what you're going to automate next.
So there you have it. We've laid out the landscape, the tech, the real-world uses, and a step-by-step plan. The path from doing nothing to getting automated is pretty clear. The only real question left is, what's that first repetitive task in your business?